Starting our newspaper review this morning with The Nation. Major headline, APC, NDC, ADC, others get INEC nod for campaigns. Tinubu, Obi, Atiku free to canvass for votes. Parties not ready for marathon stomp. Why Edo Speaker Agbebaku was forced to quit. Osun workers hold victory rally for Adeleke. We have inflation declines. Food prices fall further. Interesting. Customs declare war on drug smuggling in Ogun. Seizes 32,412 parcels of drugs. Calculated false. Okay, calculated falsehood. Despicable campaign of character assassination. Neck hunt, Nest Oil rejoinder to sponsored advertorial of August 17, 2026 that alleged crime beats recoveries. Whew, what a mouthful. And the bottom strip, insurance recapitalization yields 810 billion naira for sector. Government warns against health sector corruption. Who would like to go first?
Okay, so let me take Edo story. Stories reaching us from Edo shows that we have a new speaker in the House of Assembly in Edo. The House of Assembly yesterday elected Yekin Idiaye as the new speaker. Idiaye is a three-term lawmaker. He's the former deputy speaker and also the House Committee on Chairman on Education. He was elected after blessing Agbebaku. The former speaker resigned. So the former speaker, according to Ito, he resigned because he had been begged for impeachment. They said about 18 out of the 24 lawmakers had signed his impeachment notice. And because of that, he had to resign. There's also allegation by the new speaker that Agbebaku was removed due to corruption and inability to carry out his duties as expected. And he insisted that he was removed by the members. The House had a sitting right after. And the governor has assured us that it's a peaceful assembly, that there's no rancor after it.
Okay, so I took the workers in Osun held a victory rally for Governor Adeleke. They said they attributed his victory and his returning to office that he had a very workers-friendly he had workers-friendly policies, and he improved the welfare of pensioners. They were really jubilant, and they said he should continue to do with his policies. That was why he was elected. It was led by the chairman of the Osun State chapter of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Christopher Arakpasopo. And it said they described it as a collective victory for workers, pensioners, and the people. He said he shouldn't relent in fulfilling his promises, that the promises he made during electioneering, stressing that the pensioners expect his administration to do more. So, over to him.
Congratulations to him.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah. It was, for me, like, it was good news, and
yes, so. That's what's trending.
So the Nigeria Customs Service, NCS Ogun 1 Area Command, has declared a renewed war against the smuggling of cannabis and other illicit drugs, saying that it has handed over 32,000 parcels of hard drugs and 92 sacks of raw cannabis sativa to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the NDLEA, from January to August 13th of this year, 2026. The acting Customs Area Controller of Ogun 1 Command, Deputy Controller Oladapo Afeni, in a chat with the Nation yesterday, said that the command's headquarters, seized this, and there's further investigations going on, and that they have intensified their campaign against drug smuggling, stressing that the fight required sustained collaboration among security agencies and law enforcement agencies. He also said that in line with the mandate of the CG, Adeni Ogun said that under his command, they were able to do all these things, but that and that they had also recently recorded what he described as an unprecedented wave of constant back-to-back seizures of foreign parboiled rice and illicit drugs. He noted that smugglers had continued to deploy sophisticated concealment methods in an attempt to move hard drugs into the country, but said the command's intelligence capabilities and frontline operations had continued to frustrate their activities, because they're following the enforcement operations by using intelligence, technology, and strong enforcement measures to frustrate the smugglers. And we can see that so far in newspaper publications and and on TV that they've been doing a great job by going after these people, finding out the different new ways that they've been concealing the drugs. So kudos to them and congratulations, because we need to take away as much drugs on the streets as we can, because there's a pandemic going on.
Okay, let me take this. They say inflation declines, food prices fall further. Nigeria's headline inflation rate moderated further by 48 basis points to 15.43% as general stability in macroeconomic outlook sustained the disinflation trend. In other words, prices are falling. They say that inflation rate dropped from 15.91% in June 2026 to 15.43% in July 2026, representing an improvement of 48 basis points. The core inflation, which comprises all other items excluding farm produce and energy, improved considerably. And then it talks about the basis in which it's dropped. I'm looking for what this means for real life prices.
There's a conflict of this
they
information.
said increases, they said price of food items like rice, garri, tomatoes, plantain, beef, onions, corn, and yam, among others. There was an increase in, there was a decrease from June to July. So I guess we'll ask Nigerians outside.
No,
but the Vanguard
just telling me the market, telling me the market where they're going.
The Vanguard has it differently. The Vanguard's headline is food inflation rate rises 5th consecutive month to 20.31%.
The same, okay.
The story they jammed themselves, and the Vanguard captures it more vividly here.
Analysts were unanimous that the continuing disinflationary trend underlined the stability. So the analysts here as well.
No, the analysts, the markets that they are going,
that they are buying from.
Tell us now where they are going. I just need to go to that market.
Yes, so that's what we should
and solve my own problem.
We're still reviewing the top stories in the papers this morning, and our next paper, The Punch. Major headline, insecurity. 31 states spend 252 billion naira on security in 6 months. NDLEA destroys 301 billion naira drugs, arrests 10 in Edo. Teacher crisis. 32 million Nigerian pupils share 592,077 teachers. Oniru Estate. 2-month blockade leaves Lagos residents stranded. And we have Osun local government crisis. Policeman injured as Adeleke chairman sees secretariats. WAEC under fire over 2026 results, alleged grading anomalies. Pension arrears, ex-soldiers set to protest at Defense Ministry. Terrorists killed 28 in Sokoto community, Army GOC visits. And Buhari estate row, Osun hits back at Abiodun. What story do we have? Okay,
so WAEC is still under fire, and I don't know why WAEC keeps recurring, but the West African Examination Council is still facing growing scrutiny over the integrity of its newly released 2026 West African Senior School Certificate Examination results, and some candidates and school administrators and education advocates are alleging grading anomalies and technical glitches linked to the expanded computer-based testing rollout. And I think this was the first time WAEC is doing that fully. But this is showing because some schools are saying that their brightest students are recording failure in the exam. Speaking in an interview with Punch on Monday, the director of the Impact House Model School, Mowe, Ogun State, Sam Abdulaziz, said that the school had observed a decline in its performance in the 2025-2026 WASE exams, despite retaining its teaching staff, improving its facility, and intensifying examination preparations. He said that the school had been presenting candidates for this exam since 2017 and had recorded strong performances particularly maths and English. But this year, despite even better measures at preparing, they recorded low results. The other time I took some schools who were protesting that the students did not have faith in the CBT exam and setting. Some of them are recording, were complaining about the computers not well, started and all of that. And eventually, they believe that resulted in how they performed. Not that the exam could not record their intelligence, but recorded, how they could struggle with the
results that they got, not how they performed, the results that they
exactly.
got. So hopefully we get investigations.
But we've not heard. The reason I took the story is that till now I need to hear something from WAEC that states
concerning the last one.
Yes, what stand is WAEC taking? Are you redoing the exams? Are you going to be as responsive as the former JAM chairman who would make sure that there's a method at resolving such a thing? Is there a resolution to this, or we'll continue to see them as headlines in the papers? Is WAEC without a PRO, without a spokesperson? What is happening?
Yeah, but further to that, so I don't know whether this might be part of the issues. Nigeria's public education system is facing a major teacher capacity crisis with over 31 million learners relying on over 592 teachers, or 53.8 to 1, according to data from the Ministry of Education's Digital Nigeria Education Management Information System, which was obtained on Monday. So invariably, one teacher is serving nearly 54 students at the, in Nigerian public school. That's a lot. That's too much, While in some states, the pressure is substantially higher, with the learner-teacher ratio rising to 88 learners to one teacher in Kano. It's 7.4 to 1 in Kaduna. So you don't expect the students to perform any better, like when it comes to WAEC and stuff, right? So they say the scale of challenge becomes more apparent when the number of teachers is compared with physical infrastructure which is available to learners. So government really needs to look into this. I know that doctors and nurses are Japan, and you can also see that teachers are Japan. We don't really have enough teachers. So something has to be done about that, because at the end of the day, education is our future for the children.
So the residents of Otasana Estate in Oniru, in the Oniru area of Lagos State, have been trapped in their houses for nearly 2 months following an alleged takeover by the estate, takeover of the estate by a property management company. They said that the residents just woke up and they expressed concern to the gate closure, and then they put what do you call it on their houses? Notices on their houses that they came with more than 25. It was alleged that they came with more than 25 armed men, accompanied by court bailiffs. They stormed the estate on Monday the 22nd, scaled its gates, and pasted notices on the houses claiming possession of the estate had been granted to their principal by a court. Can you imagine? It says, a resident who identified herself simply as Mimi told their correspondent that she was at work when she received a call informing her that the estate had been taken over. She said she had to, a lot of them had to go home and beg to enter, that their kids were inside. So they see.
And this
the
ongoing for 2 months. It's been going on for 2 months.
Obviously, because it's still on, and she says they are not allowed. They're not allowed to go in and come out. You know. And then that's where the story ended. So I'm wondering.
So what is the next step? For 2 months you've been.
Because this is now August.
Yes.
And this is since the 22nd of June, but it didn't continue from there.
Okay. Let me take the picture story. So this is showing NDLEA carrying out an exercise of burning illicit drugs that have been seized. And I find it interesting, you know, everyone holds this very long stick and light it for each other's own, and then they set the whole thing ablaze. So NDLEA has said it has destroyed over 329,000 kilograms of assorted illicit drugs worth an estimated 301 billion naira in Lagos. The drugs included cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, cannabis, opiates, and other controlled substances. The exercise to destroy these drugs was following the orders of the Federal High Court in Lagos. And the chairman and CEO of NDLEA, Brigadier Buba Marwa, retired, said that the destruction of this drug demonstrates Nigeria's resolve to deprive criminal networks of resources used to sustain their operations. And he says that for every consignment that has been intercepted by the agency, it represents lives saved and resources protected from the effects of drug abuse, crime, and social dislocation. Well done, as always, NDLEA, for taking this fight so seriously. It's good. I know there was a time we saw this burning, and a lot of people didn't think it was the right thing to do, but now we see, you get a court order, and the court order asks you to destroy. I remember one that was a huge topic because they had burnt drugs.
But I still
people thought that they shouldn't have done that.
Okay. I also think it's empty cut on their bonnet.
Why? Anyway, let's move on.
Because some people said they didn't feel high. So if you are burning drugs, you will feel high. Okay. Are you sure that you are burning the right thing?
Let's move on to Vanguard.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay, I don't know if it makes sense. Vanguard, major headline, how 24 firms control over 70% of Nigeria's stock market. 9 banks, 5 consumer goods, 3 industrial goods firms, top list. Osun poll, APC claims internal wrangling caused defeat. Army draws battle line with Lakurawa terrorists. Xenophobia, federal government to evacuate 83 Nigerians from South Africa tomorrow. MBF rejects forcible land allocation for cattle ranching in Middle Belt. ASUU threatens indefinite strike as 200 Kaduna varsity lecturers resign. IBB, IGP, Ike Nwachukwu, Oshoba, Obaigben, and others for Vanguard at 40 book launch tomorrow. 85th birthday. No leader has impacted Nigeria as Babangida. This according to our president. 2027, your votes will count. INEC assures Nigerians. And at the very top strip, we have food inflation rate rises 5th consecutive month to 20.31%. And that's what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
The disparity in the reports
figures,
about inflation. Okay.
I have ASUU.
Okay, let's go with ASUU.
So the Academic Staff Union of Universities, the Kaduna State University ASUU chapter, is saying that they are threatening on going on an indefinite strike, saying that over 200 professors and other academic staff have left their institution over poor conditions of service and non-implementation of the 2025 federal government ASUU agreement. So according to the chairman of the ASUU CASU, Abubakar Abdullahi, he says, he was talking on Monday, he says that the agreement with the federal government had been implemented since January 2026, but in their own institution, no implementation has taken place. He says that, and they have written several letters to the university management, to the governing council, to the visitors to the university, to the governor of Kaduna State, and they've been begging for them to domesticate and implement the agreement in accordance with the law establishing the institution, but they have not done so. And as a result of that, a lot of their manpower has been draining out of Kaduna State. And I'm surprised that the governor that we assume is a very responsive governor is doing this. I don't understand an institution without 200 professors. What is that one? Is it jealousy or school? I think the governor should should do a press briefing if this is not true, and let us know the true state of
what is happening. Yes, I'm just looking at the rally that happened here. The picture story shows a lot of people that came out for the rally for Adeleke in Osogbo.
And it shows us that he was quite popular. So the narrative that, because one guy came, one APC guy came. You have to go.
Yes, okay, I have to go. Yes, and that's all we can take on the front page review this morning.